What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. So there's been some drama in the UFC world between Johnny Bones Jones and Tom Aspinall. Now Tom Aspinall is the one up next. He is now the interim champion. And you know what, before we go into his resume, let's go through the patter that was going on. Essentially, Tom's been calling out Jon Jones for the last month or so and critiquing the fight with Stipe that Jon Jones has booked. Now, Jon Jones, he's pulled out of fights before, I believe. Not pulled out, but he's been tested positive and whatnot. But he's pretty reliable. He's not an injury-prone guy, right? For the first time in his career, he says that he's been injured. So, I'll take that at face value anyway. Here's some of the patter. Let's go to Jon first. So, Jon started off last year, back in December, almost justified himself. I've faced the absolute toughest competition this world has had to offer for 15 years now. During camp for a title defence, I sustained a major injury that required surgery for the first time in my career. Now I have newcomers, Tom Aspinall, requesting I get my championship stripped. With 0 wins over legends, 0 title defences, and already thinking you can call the shots to Dana. That's hilarious. In my 15-year career, I have seen so many guys who are supposed to be the next big thing. There's only ever been one Jon Jones. Never forget that. Shush. So that's what Johnny Bones said back in early December. I mean, I could go for it all, but you get the point. Aspinall's been on Twitter saying things like, absolutely, Stipe has a great resume and is a legend in his own right, but so is Tony Ferguson. Maybe we should give him a shot at the undisputed title next too. Other comments. Johnny Bones posted the following. I mean, it doesn't really work like that. I was a champion when I was 23 years old. You can't show up at age 30 pretending like you've been chasing me your whole life. I have no clue who 90% of his resume is. Meanwhile, I've been highlighting UFC events my entire career. Now, that's the perfect segue to Tom Aspinall's career. And I have to be honest here, I do. I'm a casual. That's not necessarily good for details, but what it is good for, being a casual, I can tell you if someone's name is popping, yeah? As it happens, I'm not just saying this, but genuinely, the only name I've kind of heard of is Curtis Blaydes. Let me see what Curtis Blaydes has been doing. Why have I heard of his name before? Who has he beat? His beat... I don't know. No, he lost to Derek Lewis. I can't tell you how I know Curtis Blaydes, but maybe it's because he beat Aspinall. That's probably what it was. Here we go. The reason I know Curtis Blaydes, right? Because he beat... Well, he's got all these kind of names on there. Look. Mark Hunt I've heard of. Overeem I've heard of. Ngannou he lost to, but he was in the mix, right? Junior Dos Santos I've heard of. Volkov I've heard of. Aspinall I've heard of now, kind of thing. That's why I've heard of Curtis Blaydes. These other guys though, so bear in mind, Aspinall lost to Curtis Blaydes in devastating fashion. Got knocked out. He's since come back to have 2 wins. Marcin Tybura, I've never heard of him, people. I haven't, I can't lie to you. Let's see who he's beat. Again. Is that Alexander Volkov? Okay, he lost to him though, right? So Aspinall beats a guy who Curtis Blaydes beat, Alexander Volkov. I've never heard of anyone else on this guy's resume. Let's see the other person who he won the interim title off. Sergey Pavlovich. See what he's been doing. Okay, he beat Curtis Blaydes. Fair play. So that was his big win. And he beat Derek Lewis. That was his big win. Okay, so this guy's half. Okay, fair play. Okay. I'll give Aspinall that. Aspinall has one good win then on his resume. Sergey Pavlovich. And he did so in devastating fashion in round 1. And that is something. Whilst I'm critical of Aspinall's resume, I do have to say there is dangerous, right? Look, round one. Even when he loses, it's like round one, round 2, they're like, this guy's explosive. So I get it. Yeah, he had a good win with Sergey Pavlovich, and it was on late notice, and he knocked him out in round 1. you're there or thereabouts. However, he's not on the, I have to agree with Jon Jones, he's not on the I demand my shot now kind of vibe. Should Jon fight him after? Probably. Why not? Is my advice. If Aspinall is interim champion, Jon Jones should beat Stipe Miocic and then beat Aspinall and then ride off into the sunset. There won't be anyone built in the next year or whatever. Now, contrary to this, Jon Jones has come out and basically said he don't really want to fight. Here we go, let's have a look. It's around here somewhere. Here we go. What I refuse to do is be like a lot of these other fighters who stuck around too long. That just won't happen. Your boy Bones Jones over here, despite what a lot of people may think, I've set myself up pretty well in life. I want Stipe for my resume. Outside of that, I need nothing else from this sport. I came, I saw, I conquered. Facts. One of my friends who was into the UFC more than me, he said that this was a bit icky from Jon. I mean, keep it to yourself. If that's how, I mean, respect to him for being honest, but I don't want to hear this from Jon. I want to hear, I came, I saw, I conquered Stipe, and I conquered Tom Aspinall. Why not? How old is Jon now? Let's have a look. Jon Jones, age. I think DC was fighting until he was like 41. That doesn't mean it's a good... I mean, come on, bro. Jon is 36 and a half years old. Not old enough for me, I'm sorry, people. If he was 39, then you'd make adjustments. But at 36, for what it's worth, okay, he'll fight Stipe in the next year and then can fight Tom Aspinall 4 months later. So you'll be fully retired at 38. Yeah, bro. This for me is a no. Jon Jones needs to... He doesn't need to, but why not? I don't see the justification for him not fighting Jon Jones. Anyway, sorry, Tom Aspinall. So, someone replied to his last post talking about him refusing to go out like other fighters. And he said, are you retiring after Stipe? Or is retirement confirmed after Stipe then? Jon replied, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, coming back from 2 different surgeries and defeating Stipe is my primary goal. And a huge feat, if you ask me. We both have already agreed to massive contracts. A win for either one of us would be absolutely massive for either of our careers. Despite how good Tom may seem right now, a win over him really does nothing for my legacy. That's just the truth. That's all I'm saying. I understand a lot of you guys don't fully understand what's happening behind the scenes. You don't make it as far as myself and Stipe, not realising the business side of this. Again, not really what I want to hear. For me, the word business has become triggering. When I start hearing business in sports, it reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. Oh man, you know, we're in the business game and this is business. And yeah, it's business, but equally, handle your business. Do you understand? And right now, Tom Aspinall is business that needs to be handled. I put to you, why not? Yeah? You just smoked, what's the guy's name? I don't know, he smoked some dude, some kickboxer dude. I forgot his name now. The one in Ngannou went 5 rounds with. Smoked him. Why not go in there with Tom Aspinall? You say it won't do much for your legacy, but if Tom Aspinall goes on to be... If you beat Tom Aspinall, yeah, you don't... Tom Aspinall's young enough where we don't know what his legacy will be. And that's what a lot of the great fighters in history did. In boxing or UFC. They beat the ones above their generation. They beat the people in their generation. And then they beat the ones in the new generation. Stipe isn't new generation. Daniel Cormier wasn't new generation. They're both individuals in his generation. Who was Jon Jones beat in the next generation? So, Jon's actually wrong here saying it doesn't hold any weight to his legacy. No, it does, bro. Because if you beat Tom Aspinall in devastating fashion, and then he goes on to be the undisputed reigning heavyweight champion for the next 5 years, and you're the only man who beat him kind of thing, whilst he was or before he was champion, you can then sit back and say, listen, I came, I conquered the people before me, I conquered my own people, and I conquered the ones after. I am Optimus. Yeah? Optimus I am, is what you can say. So I disagree on this with Jon. And initially, I was agreeing with him. But yeah, having thought about it, I don't see why not. Like I say, if he was 39, knocking on 40, I'd say, yeah, get it, because you're wilting. At 36, and Jon spent a lot of time out of the ring as well. He's not been that active, has he? He's had loads of time out, which means he's not battle-worn. Yes, the training camps are draining, but he's not battle-worn. He's a vet now. He doesn't need to do as much sparring. Take out Tom Aspinall, is my advice. Why not? Anyway, I mean, Tom's been... Jon, you're letting your ego run wild here, mate. I'm not down in your resume. It's incredible. Far superior to mine. You are known as the best fighter ever, and that's exactly why I want to beat you. Surely you can understand that. Fair point by Aspinall. Ain't gonna lie. Again, good bars from Aspinall. Forget all the other stuff about titles and resume, etc. I just think I can beat you in a fight, mate. But if you don't want to, I won't keep chasing you. Wow. Those are bars, people. That's what you're supposed to say. You know, we can ramble about legacy and retirement and business, but I want that arse. I believe your arse is sweet to me. Now, equally, you can say, well, he's got to say that, right? He wants the big fight, but it's the fight business. Yeah? It's not the business, it's the fight business. Tom Aspinall wants to fight, so I have to respect that. And ultimately, I have to back his claim for wanting this. Because after all, if Jon Jones is saying he's too old to fight, then he should retire before Stipe. Don't fight Stipe and then... Which is it? Are you too old and too injured and don't want to leave the sport at the end of your legacy, or are you not? If you're too old and injured, retire now. I'm too old and injured, I'm leaving now. Don't say I'm too old and injured, but I'll fight Stipe. That just looks sketch. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell 100%, no doubt.